footage revealing that, yes, her secret plan is to always take control of the movies and lie to the directors to get it. Where Blake Lively completely exposes herself and just says it out loud with no qualms. This is what I do.
I'm very surprised that she felt comfortable enough to say all of this out loud. And I don't feel like it's taking things out of context. I don't feel like it's manipulating her to look a certain way. This is her talking. This is her interview where she is being honored.
Just when you thought the Marvel drama had finally cooled off, boom, Robert Downey Jr. lights the fuse on a Hollywood explosion no one saw coming. And his target? None other than Blake Lively. Yep, you heard that right. Iron Man himself is pointing the finger at Hollywood's former sweetheart, accusing her of something absolutely insane, stealing money from Marvel Studios. How did this even happen? And why is one of the original Avengers going after someone who's never even set foot in the MCU? The layers of this scandal are unraveling fast, packed with secrets, betrayal, and a truth so outrageous it could flip the entire industry on its head.
And it's as vicious as it can get. In Hollywood, my own position is she's absolutely ruined her brand. She has started a fight she cannot win. She does appear like an Amber Heard to me.
Hollywood and the Marvel fandom are in total shock. And trust me, this is just the beginning. This isn't some random internet rumor. According to insiders, Robert Downey Jr. is allegedly sitting on evidence that could send shockwaves through Marvel Studios. Fans are scrambling for answers. Social media is in full meltdown mode, and no one knows what's real and what's just another smoke and mirrors Hollywood illusion. Is this the biggest scandal in Marvel history? Or is there something even deeper going on? Buckle up, because the truth is about to hit hard. Reports are flying, and the whispers are turning into full-on sirens. Marvel's money didn't just disappear. A massive chunk of studio funds is mysteriously unaccounted for. And the craziest part? Robert Downey Jr. is reportedly convinced he knows who's behind it. Blake Lively. At the center of a Marvel financial scandal. Sounds impossible, right? She's the face of effortless elegance in Hollywood. A flawless image. No scandals. No controversy. Until now.
I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do.
The cracks are beginning to show, and the tension? It's sky high. People are picking sides, demanding the truth, and the internet has descended into absolute chaos. This isn't just another throwaway Hollywood rumor. If Robert Downey Jr.'s accusations hold any weight, we're looking at one of the biggest celebrity bombshells of the year. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the trust fans once had? It's about to be shattered in the most brutal way possible. This drama is far from over. And as for Blake Lively, it looks like she's backed herself into a corner she might not be able to escape. The wildest part? She may not even realize just how much she's exposing with every move she makes.
I don't think she even realizes what she's admitting. Sometimes they'd let me and sometimes they wouldn't. And that then she goes further and says, I would just lie to them in the audition process and make them think I'm just an actress to do what they want. And then I'd slither my way in and take anatomy because I need authorship.
Like I want to have more authorship. It's just as
I just can't even, there's so much to say about this clip.
And now Blake Lively is out here openly admitting to sabotaging actors, hijacking projects, and lying to directors, all while maintaining that squeaky clean Hollywood image. But the mask is slipping. And Justin Baldoni? He's not just calling her out, he's bringing receipts. For years, even co-stars like Penn Badgley tried to raise red flags. But nobody was listening. The pattern is undeniable. Blake has been making sets unbearable, pulling strings behind the scenes, and manipulating her way to the top. And Justin? He's been warning people for months. But Hollywood didn't want to hear it. She took over It Ends With Us, rewrote scenes behind his back, and pushed him out of his own project like he was nothing more than an extra. Why? Because Blake knew exactly how to play the game. She spun the narrative, made it seem like she was just a fearless woman fighting against industry norms, and Hollywood ate it up. Producers welcomed her like a hero. The industry backed her like she was leading a movement. But let's be clear, this wasn't about empowerment. It was about control. And for a while, she had it, until she didn't. Out of nowhere, a 2022 interview resurfaced. And just like that, the illusion shattered. In this clip, Blake wasn't hinting at her behind-the-scenes tactics. She was flat out bragging. She admitted to deceiving directors and producers, making them believe she was just another actress playing her part.
But now?
That act is falling apart, fast. She plays the role flawlessly, smiling, nodding, sitting through meetings like she's just another actor there to do her job. But the second that contract is locked in, that's when the real Blake Lively shows up. Suddenly, she's not acting anymore. She's rewriting scripts, shifting character arcs, deciding how scenes are shot, and she does it all under the excuse of needing authorship to feel creatively fulfilled. But let's be honest, this isn't creative input. This is strategy. This is calculated. Blake even admitted she knew she had to play the game, keeping her real intentions under wraps until she had full control, because she knows the truth. If directors saw her coming with those plans, they'd never hire her. So what does she do? She plays innocent, tricks filmmakers into thinking she's just another team player, until it's too late to stop her. And the wildest part? She knows exactly what she's doing. She even called it a rug pull, as if deceiving directors and taking over their films was just some clever little trick. And she didn't say it with regret, she laughed. Like it was her signature move. This isn't how Hollywood works. This isn't how professionals operate. Blake wasn't collaborating with directors. She was straight up stealing their projects from under them. And this interview? It couldn't have resurfaced at a worse time for Blake Lively. For months, Justin Baldoni was brushed off as just another so-called fragile male director who couldn't handle a woman with a voice. But now, the truth is out, and the receipts speak for themselves. This was never about ego. It wasn't about control. It was about the fact that Blake did to Justin exactly what she had already admitted to doing to other directors. She played the game, waited for the right moment, and then, boom, she yanked the project from under him. And when he dared to push back, she flipped the entire narrative. She made herself the victim and turned him into the villain. This wasn't an accident. It wasn't miscommunication. Blake genuinely believed she had every right to seize control. In her mind, she wasn't overstepping. She was simply taking what she thought she was owed. And for years, she got away with it. Her industry connections, her A-list status, and her talent for manipulating public perception kept the narrative exactly where she wanted it. Until now. This time, there was no PR spin. No carefully crafted damage control. No rewriting history. Her own words finally caught up with her. And for the first time, Hollywood had to stop and question the story she'd been selling all along. Because this time, she admitted everything on camera. And now, the facade is crumbling. Blake Lively isn't just a Hollywood darling. She's a manipulator who thought she could play the system and win. Let's not forget, Justin Baldoni had been begging people to listen. He warned the industry. He spoke out about how Blake hijacked It Ends With Us, rewrote scenes behind his back, and pushed him out of the very project he built from the ground up. But the moment she reframed it as a man versus woman battle, Hollywood backed her, blindly. No one asked why the original creator, the man who secured the rights and developed the film, was suddenly being labeled the villain. Blake crafted the perfect smokescreen. And for a while it worked, but then the truth came crashing in. Andy Signore, Yuri, and Kim from Popcorn Planet wasted no time. They broke the story wide open. And the deeper they dug, the clearer it got. Blake didn't just get accused, she practically confessed. And this isn't about one movie. Blake Lively has a pattern, a history of twisting projects to fit her agenda. The receipts are stacking up, and now, there's nowhere left to hide. Some directors played along to avoid conflict. Others were completely blindsided. They hired an actress, not a co-director, not a producer, not a studio head. No one expected to wake up and find Blake running the show, but that's exactly what happened. And the worst part? She admitted she lies to directors on purpose, just to gain control. That's not artistic passion. That's not dedication. That's deception. And honestly, this goes way beyond unprofessional. Imagine if Justin Baldoni had gotten his hands on that clip earlier. Imagine if this interview had surfaced before she took over It Ends With Us. He might have been able to stop it before it even began. The damning footage came straight from Blake's 2022 Forbes Power Women Summit appearance, where she sat there, proud, bragging about how she tricks directors into hiring her, only to take over once she's at this point. She's not just admitting to manipulation, she's justifying it. She truly believes she deserves control over every project. Because, apparently, being an actress isn't enough. She doesn't want a role. She wants total control. That's why she hijacked It Ends With Us. That's why she rewrote scenes behind Justin Baldoni's back. That's why she erased his fingerprints from his own film. Because in her mind, she earned it. But here's the problem, Blake, you got caught. You've been accused, and this time, there's no spinning your way out of it. The internet never forgets, and now you're facing the consequences. No PR stunt, no powerful connections, no Hollywood favoritism can erase what's already out there. You were caught on camera, committing to exactly what you've now been called out for. Hollywood is watching, and for the first time, they're seeing the truth, because this isn't just about It Ends With Us. This is about a pattern of deception, control, and ruthless ambition, all disguised as female empowerment. For years, Blake Lively carefully crafted an image, Hollywood's fearless, independent woman. The one who challenges authority, takes control, and refuses to be silenced. But now people are asking, what happens when that control is really just manipulation? What happens when the so-called fearless woman isn't fighting injustice but creating it? Blake Lively isn't just an actress. She's a strategist, a master of positioning. She plays the underdog, the outsider, the woman struggling to be heard. And because Hollywood loves a strong female narrative, they fall for it every time. But behind the scenes, the truth looks very different. Justin Baldoni isn't the first person she's done this to. He's just the first to call her out with receipts. And that's exactly why she's scrambling. That's why she's desperately trying to rewrite the story before people realize what's really been happening. Let's be honest. Justin didn't just lose creative control of It Ends With Us. That kind of power shift doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually, piece by piece, when someone carefully manipulates the system to push someone else out. And that's exactly what Blake did. She started small, a script suggestion here, a creative opinion there. It felt harmless at first. But before Justin even realized it, she had taken over. And when he finally pushed back, it was already too late. Blake had positioned herself as the face of the film, and anyone who challenged her instantly painted as the villain. The worst part? It worked. For months, the media clung to the narrative that Justin Baldoni was just another insecure male director who couldn't handle working with a strong woman. But here's the thing, that's not what happened at all. Justin didn't lose control because he was threatened by Blake's presence. He lost control because Blake ensured he did. She knew how to frame it, a woman fighting for creative freedom against an oppressive man. And the industry? They backed her, no questions asked, but what Blake didn't plan for was the truth catching up to her. Because while she was busy pushing Justin out, a 2022 interview resurfaced. And in it, she didn't hold back. She didn't even try to deny what she does. She bragged about it. She admitted, openly and confidently, that she never reveals her real intentions during auditions. She explained that if directors or producers knew she planned to rewrite scripts, take control of costumes, and steer the entire production, she'd never get hired. So she lies. She pretends to play along until the contract is signed. Then she takes over, and suddenly, everything Justin said makes perfect sense. Blake wasn't just involved in the creative process. She orchestrated a takeover. She played the system like a game, like a master chess player. Blake Lively moved every piece into position until she was the one calling the shots. And once she had full control, she did what she always does, cast herself as the hero while labeling anyone who challenged her as the villain. It was a strategy that had worked time and time again. But this time, she miscalculated. She didn't count on the mountain of evidence stacked against her, because now, it's not just Justin Baldoni speaking out. Hollywood insiders, past directors, and former co-stars are stepping forward, each with their own story. And suddenly, It's clear this wasn't an isolated incident. This was a pattern. And the timing couldn't be worse. Just as the truth about It Ends With Us began leaking, old interviews and behind-the-scenes moments began to resurface. People who once worked with Blake started revealing the same manipulative tactics. That fearless woman standing up for herself? She didn't look so fearless anymore. She looked calculated. This wasn't about challenging outdated norms. It was about weaponizing them to get her way. And that's what makes this so dangerous. It's not just about lying. It's about distorting reality so that real victims become harder to believe. Blake didn't just spin the truth. She used it as a weapon. She painted herself as the underdog while silencing anyone who dared to speak out. Justin Baldoni wasn't trying to silence a woman. He was trying to protect a creative project he built from the ground up. But Blake knew that if she played it just right, she could turn the industry against him before he could even respond. But this time, the internet is watching. And the internet doesn't forget. Every deleted text, every altered script, every backroom power play, it's all coming to light. And the more she tries to rewrite history, the clearer it becomes. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's manipulation at the highest level. She thought she could outsmart everyone. She thought she could control the narrative. But now the real story is being told, and for the first time, she's not the one pulling the strings. Hollywood may have once backed her, but now they're realizing they may have backed the wrong person, because at the end of the day, the truth always wins, and right now, the truth is exposing Blake Lively for exactly who she is. Her entire Hollywood game is falling apart, and she has no one to blame but herself. She thought she could play the system, silence those she used, and rewrite history. But now the truth is spreading faster than she can spin it. For years, she built up this image, strong, independent, in control. But the question is, what if that control was never about vision but manipulation? What if the person she fought against wasn't an oppressive executive, but someone she betrayed to get ahead? Justin Baldoni had been warning people for months, but no one listened. No one wanted to believe that Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl, could be capable of such things. But now the evidence is piling up, and people are finally opening their eyes. And the truth? It's worse than anyone imagined. Blake didn't just contribute to It Ends With Us, she stole it. She wormed her way into a project Justin had spent years developing, then slowly took it over. It started with a few script edits, then casting control, then costuming, direction, until Justin was completely pushed out of his own movie, and the moment she spun it as a woman being silenced by a man, Hollywood backed her. Without question. No one paused to ask, is that what's actually happening? And that's what makes this entire situation so. Blake Lively played the game masterfully, leveraging Hollywood's obsession with female empowerment to hide her true intentions. Let's not kid ourselves, she never simply wanted to star in It Ends With Us. She wanted full control, her story, her version, her name stamped on every frame. When Justin didn't step aside, she did what she does best, flipped the narrative, framed herself as the victim, and let the media spin the rest. But that carefully built house of cards is now crashing down around her. That 2022 interview still lingers like a ghost, where she flat out admitted to deceiving directors. Not speculation, not hearsay, a full-on confession. She said she pretends to be just the actress to land roles, only to rewrite scenes and take over once the deal is signed. No shame, no remorse, just a smirk and a story about how she seizes control. And this wasn't taken out of context. It was her proudly declaring this as her method. Now, suddenly, all of Justin Baldoni's accusations make perfect sense. For months, his claims were brushed aside, reduced to another fragile male director, intimidated by a strong woman. But it was never about that. It was about creative theft. It was about Blake erasing Justin's vision, hijacking his work, and branding it as her own. This wasn't collaboration. It was sabotage with a smile. And what's even more stunning? Justin isn't the only one. More voices are coming forward. Hollywood insiders are whispering, then speaking up. The public is slowly catching on, realizing they may have been cheering for the wrong person all along. For the first time in her carefully curated career, Blake is losing her grip on the story. She's scrambling. The media spin isn't working. Justin won't be silenced, and those once afraid to speak are stepping up. The truth is already out there. No amount of PR polish can scrub away what she's already confessed to. The mask has slipped, and this time it might not go back on. Let us know your thoughts. Drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next bombshell.